Okay, is this going to work? Perfecto. So what we'll do is, don't need this, and we'll just trim this a bit so it looks a bit nicer, and we'll just carry on anyway. Okay, so Frappe Snowland, 145. This track is hard. You're not wrong. It's one of those tracks that, as your overall skill at the game gets better, it becomes a substantially easier track because things sort of just fall into place better. So you'll find that it's not say if you had a ranking of your hardest tracks, as you improve at the game, this would probably fall further down the list of harder ones, sort of thing. Okay, right. Oopsie. Yeah, it should. I must admit, it looks like I'll have a better time offering improvements today, because I must admit I was better had shown me his Luigi's Mansion, and gosh, I'm only finding nitpicky things to show improvements on, and then he shows me his fast lap, and it's better than my time, and I'm like, shit, how am I supposed to coach on that? Not very easily, sort of thing. You've noticed that bit, yeah. I think one of the biggest ones for me was Choco Island 2. That was arguably the hardest track for me back in the day, aside from maybe Rainbow Road. And now I find it probably a lot easier than certain tracks, because a lot of what makes it difficult, once you're able to get close to the world record standard, it actually just sort of falls into place naturally. Yeah, one of those. Okay, so you want to improve at this track, and your laps seem to be in ascending order. What, 34, 35, 36? So, yeah. Oh, yeah. So you shrim here. Have you not been able to maintain PRB at all? Is that something you've struggled with? Because it's worth maybe trying to see if you can use a little bit of steering. See when you do this hop. I'll just slow it down slightly so it's a bit easier to thingy. See where you do this double hop. It's maybe worth trying to just use a little bit of steering instead, so you can get the MT out quicker. And here's the thing as well. It's worth seeing, because if you watch the bar will tell you this. While obviously you're not having heaps of time, so to speak, between each MTs, you're still having a reasonable amount of time left before you lose PRB after each MT, right? So the point I'm getting at here is you can probably afford to slightly slow down your MT speed, and as long as you're able to get the timing right, it might be a bit hard to get the timing, but see if you can get a feel for it. Slow it down just a little bit, and what you might find is that by the time you get to this MT here, you'll be a bit further along the track. So, if necessary, do a little bit of right-hand steering. I know that normally you don't like to steer, but in this case, we just want to focus on maintaining PRB. So, it's a new set of hairs, alright? Well, it's the same set, they're just shorter. Yeah, so you'll find you'll be a bit further along, and with just a little bit of steering rather than doing a double hop, you'll be able to maybe do the 5th MT and still have PRB. So try just slowing it down a little bit, and you might just find yourself getting the PRB here. And then, to be fair, you maybe will have to sort of try and tweak the line until you find it, but it's it's very similar to the shroom jump in a lot of ways, um, and how you do it. Like you can go just about as far once you know how to do it. So worth trying it. And when I say like slowing down your MTs, I mean like just by a fraction of a second. So it's like it's nearly as quick, just ever so slightly slower. But it can make all the difference over the course of a few MTs, sort of thing. Because you didn't want to be using the shroom if you can help it. And if you do manage to start semi-consistently or consistently getting this jump with just PRB instead of a shroom, then congratulations, you've just got yourself a very hefty time save. And that's before we even look at the rest of the track where there are still plenty of improvements. So, yeah. I think the shroom jump is not too bad. This is maybe a point for maybe once you develop to a bit of a higher level overall, but generally what ends up happening is once you sort of like start getting a bit better, when it comes to the shroom and the PRB, like lap 1 jump, what you do is you often sort of angle yourself a little bit more to the left, and then you hop to the right so that you then land into a drift and you can get an empty out sooner. But I appreciate that it might be harder to do that because really you need a smooth landing to do it. So don't worry about that too much, but it is something there to consider as well. This strategy's mostly fine. It's just that obviously once you get faster at emptying in the game, you can do it a lot smoother. This isn't a bad sort of workaround for if you're struggling with the snowman, but I don't know if anyone else sees it this way, but like when it comes to the snowman, it's hard to remember how it. Yeah, I think right. When it comes to the snowman, you see just a clump of snowmen, right? This might help some people. This might be like a wow moment for some people, or this might not make any sense. I don't know. It depends how well I explain it. But generally speaking, you're coming from down here to over here, right? Now, the way I like to actually picture the snowmen, not rather than just seeing it's a cluster that is there, try and imagine, like, look at the gaps and imagine, like, say, imagine almost that there's like, say, between this snowman and this snowman, they're connected with a wall, and then this snowman and this snowman's connected with a wall, and then this one, and this one are connected with a wall, right? So you've got gaps going diagonally this way, but you can't go this way, if that makes sense. That's almost how I sort of picture it for myself, and that's how you actually picture how to navigate through the snowman. It's particularly once you start to get to closer to the higher level. You're looking to sort of go through the snowman at this sort of channel sort of thing. This is the channel you'd be looking for. So between these two, and imagine that there's effectively two walls here and here. This is the sort of line you're looking for. And it might make it easier to try and approach it for snaking. I feel like this is actually the best way I can think of to actually sort of suggest how to snake through this section. And it might actually help some of you quite a lot. If you're looking like, how do you snake through here? Well, this is the best way to look at it. And you'd probably maybe say be charging an RMT whilst going through here, so your cart's sliding this way, sort of thing. So it's like you maybe do like LMT, RMT, and then like LMT or over the hill, sort of thing. So you'd be going through round here, through here, so it's like this way, behind this snowman. That's the sort of line you're looking for. Does that make sense to folk? Do people see what I'm saying? I hope someone else, like quite closer to my level, can understand what I'm saying. Like if Marissa, who is here or anything, like she might have a better way to put it. I don't know, but that's how I view it personally. Does that make sense to you, Flo? Does that make sense to you at all? Yeah, you just try to dodge them. I just find that like you want to have a consistent strategy, obviously, and I feel that's the easiest way to sort of force a consistent strategy is to picture them as in like diagonal lines. Yeah, that's certainly how I do it. I can maybe see if I can demonstrate it after I go through it. But it's like you're wanting to go through here. Basically, it's like this way, but more at this sort of angle. And you might be able to snake. But if you are doing the strat you're doing here, just push inside the snowman because you've got quite a lot of. Oh, you got delay on the mobile. Fair enough. Yeah, that's fair enough. No problem. You got quite a lot of leeway on this hill before it counts as out of bounds. And also, you're kind of going in this direction roughly as well. So between that and the fact that this is slidey road, because this is slidier road, this is relevant for a part particularly later on as well. Yeah, I could demonstrate the PRB jump. It might take a bit of attempts, but yeah, I can try it. But anyway, when you're trying to steer hard in a direction on the slippy road, typically it's kind of bad because it's thrown you this way. So you're having to like sort of work harder to get in the direction you want it to go, and it slows the cart down, I believe, due to turn loss. I think it is, and also it's a lot more distance. But in this scenario, because you want to go over this hill anyway, with the strategy you're using, particularly, like 100% push closer this way, you'll save substantial time compared to going here. Just try and go over here in this direction, because you see as well, it's like you've gone quite far round, and then this MT is like the right idea, but you'd be further a bit up the hill and with a better angle, and so you'd be much more like sort of going over in this sort of direction. But it mostly works out. It's just that you were unfortunate that because you hopped early, you got a bad bounce, but you otherwise would have got out of there okay. Now with this part, this corner, now this is where the slippy road thing I just mentioned kicks in again, about how it throws you out. And this is one place where there's not much you can do other than use it to your advantage. Now, you're basically in this situation where you're up close to the wall here, which seems like it would be good, but then when you actually find yourself around the corner, you've gone quite far wide, and because it's such a particularly tight corner that like you could be literally here if you do it right in a similar amount of time. And it's a similar principle to what I mentioned like just here about how it can like really sort of mess your line up, just trying to like force your way left a bit late. But skipped it a bit. What happens here, right? If you do one of potentially three things, I suppose, right? Either angle yourself much more to the left before this point, or be slightly further away from the wall at this point. Or what was the other one I was going to say? Or be releasing this MT further back. And the reason for that is because of what I was saying before. Because of the slidey road, it forces you wider before you go round. But what happens is you can prepare much earlier. So like, if you were pushing into the wall here and just rushing this MT out a bit quicker, it might look like, oh no, I would crash, because on normal road you would. However, what happens is the initial hop actually throws you wide, but then it throws you tight, so like it just sort of suddenly throws you in. So if you get this MT out a bit sooner with the same kind of approach and like double hop round earlier, what happens is that you end up very nicely hugging this wall and you save a heap of time. And it's quite a difficult one to get at first, but once you sort of start to realise that you can actually release an MT and hop earlier than normal, you'll find substantial gains with your angle here. And then even if you have to do LMT, double hop, LMT, so much better line. It's one of those where it's like you either start wide to finish tight, or you simply do the same preparation you're doing, but finish it earlier and hop earlier, and it will work out. Because you're doing this double hop anyway, so like why not be much closer to the wall? And you can do that. Hi Charles, how's it going? You can do that much more easily. Like I say, if you're really just sort of more aggressively pushing, because you do quite clearly space your MT here. You're not like getting out as quickly as you could. So yeah, get this MT out earlier, and you'll be surprised at how much better you can take the corner. I think the last big sort of thing I saw was the transition. So this is fine. However, I would absolutely take out this LMT you do. I would not do it, because the problem is not only are you like putting yourself at a horrible angle for going around this corner because you're like forced out here, but also like even if you were doing the LMT well, it's arguably still slower anyway because of how the quirky the road is. So I would just go into another RMT, then double hop RMT, and then if you've got time, either double hop RMT or just go into another RMT. But basically the point is just do only right mini turbos from this corner. It will help your transitions much better, 100%. And like like I say, it's because, like I say in a lot of coaching, that this corner you've done on lap 2 is bad, but not because like you simply took the corner bad. It's because you were forced to take it bad because of this MT here. So it's it's a knock-on effect, which is stacked losses. I liked Frappe. I liked Frappe Snowland once I got it. It's one of those that once you get it, it's actually quite pleasant. I find it's just a weird one, but yeah. You'd be in a much better place, probably with a better angle with your right mini turbos, and then you'll be much closer to the snow naturally, and then like it's like I say, stacked gains. So yeah, and then otherwise, you can do an RMT here, but like I think. For a similar reason as just mentioned previously, it's possibly still better just doing only left mini turbos here, because you'll probably get better angle on this hill clear. Like at higher levels you can do the snaking, but you need to be probably pretty quick. So I would probably just stick to left mini turbos here. So yeah, is there anything else you'd like to know then about this strategy? Because really that's just about it, really. It's all about just trying to... I'll just quickly recap while I'll give you a chance to ask a question. So it's like... Put this back up to... So it's like... Space your MTs a little bit more to try and stretch as much boost as you can to get the PRB jump. Then you got a massive time save. And then... Consider what I was saying here about considering these snowmen to be in leftward diagonal lines. And you're wanting to go between the first and second one diagonally left. That's a good tip for everyone, I think. And then consider using the snow to pull you in early, because you can get a lot of leeway. You can go quite far high up the mountain before you actually get... well, it's not a mountain, but a hill. But you can go quite high up the hill before you're off-road. The lap 3 hill clear landing. Okay, yeah, I can try. And then watch how you approach this corner. Like, do what you're doing, but release the MT much earlier. And then, if necessary, double hop. And you should see substantial improvements. And then only right mini turbos for this transition. followed by preferably only left mini turbos leading up to the jump, which is coming up here. The lap 3 hill clear landing. Okay. Let's see. I'll see what you do, and I'll see what you do compared to lap 2. Yeah. That's actually a product of what I said for your previous lap. So, see how I was saying probably best to do only left mini turbos here? This is exactly why. Because you're now a much later getting over into the hill. So by the time you get your MT out and force yourself like to do the jump, you know, ideally you'd be more likely about here or somewhere, or possibly even off the screen to the left. But instead you're over here and you're fighting back with steering. And so you go straight over the hill, and it's just simply you get lots of height, but it's wasted on, you know, overshooting. So it's like even without a shroom or PRB, you should be able to go to the left of this peak here. So I'll just see if you do it better lap 2, so I can get a reasonable comparison. Otherwise, I'll just try and see if I can demonstrate it. Yeah, see, you did it much better there. You can see your position much better. So it's a product of that. It's not so much the landing, it's the jump. So yeah, I'll see if I can demonstrate some runs then. That might be a good idea. But bear with me because I've not played this for probably about 3-4 years at least. So I'm probably not going to get it first time. But we'll try. Oh, you're most welcome. Right. No, what am I doing? It is down here. Okay. That was a bad landing. Okay, I maybe got my line slightly wrong with the snowman. It's actually the second one. So like, oh, where did I get placed? Here. Okay, so this is my poor memory coming in. The thing was correct, right? I was doing the diagonal lines, so like this would be like one channel, and this would be one channel. So it's actually the second one, but the principle is exactly the same. And if you're struggling to go through this one, then you can still go through this one, if that makes sense. But you never want to be going like, say, through here or through here. Like, imagine this snowman and this snowman. Imagine that's a wall connecting them. And then likewise, imagine on my right here, there's a wall from this one to this one to like this one sort of thing. Did I get that right? Yeah. No, not this one, sorry. Imagine there's a wall between these two. And then there's a wall from this one to this one to this one, etc. So yeah, so that's it. So it's like, I wonder if I can show my cursor on this. So yeah, if it's working, like that's a channel, and that's a channel. So either go through here, or go through here. Do not go through here. Do not go through here. Do not go over there. Do not go round this idiot here. Yeah. Hopefully that makes sense. And I'll just sort of try and demonstrate it again. Because I actually got the PRB jump first time. So I was very happy with that. And I'll try and show you what I mean with the last corner as well. No! I mean, it was close. The idea's there. Nah. I'll just do mono MTs, but like, I messed that up. Let's see if we can go back. Go away, Larka2, you're not wanted here. So, like, if I was preparing for this corner... No, that was a bit early. I'll try again. But it's like... almost like that. I'll try again. See you later, Yogurt. If I'm doing it in an actual run, it should be easier. I knew I was going to hit that. To be fair, sometimes if you're doing the strategy I'm doing, it's easier to go to the right of that snowman. I don't need to play perfectly here anyway, but... okay, I'll just try and do I'll just continue actually. I shouldn't need to worry about that. Just see if I can show you what I mean with that corner. Yeah, like, you hop a bit earlier and it just works so much better. Okay, I messed that up, but whatever. I think you can kind of see the idea. I'll maybe see if I can get a complete lap going on. Oh, no. Maybe not. But anyway, I think we'll see what's going on. Not too happy with my line there, but whatever. You get the idea. Yeah, I'm very out of practice with this track, but whatever. That's the idea. Okay. If there's no other questions, I'll just go back to playing some